Hey, wow, I've been on a very inspired mission this last little bit, so I'm going to keep running with it while I can. This video actually is funny. It's from a commenter from a couple months ago, and I thought that it's pretty good to tie into this whole love theme with INTJs because I'm in the mood to talk about it. And so this one is from commenter Rock of O Town. So I could only imagine what that is about. Anyways, thank you because it is actually a well read or well written and uh, intuitive question. So the question is, and I'm going to be reading heavily off my notes so I don't forget stuff. Uh, what is an INTJ female's opinion on receiving love letters? So at first I read this and I was thinking that that's a really random question because we're not necessarily romantic. And then immediately I thought about it because he added the follow-up questions, and I thought, yeah, that's absolutely something that's really interesting. And so I thought I'd throw it out, and I want to hear everybody else's opinions on this. So first thing, again, experiential. This is just my interpretation of my experience. Everyone is different. But for me personally, I have, out of all the things that I hold incredibly dear, a massive component of it is paper. And I'm not sure if other people are the same, but I can throw away pretty much anything except paper. And that is, I mean, other than like utilitarian side things, when it comes from someone that has been written into your own personal life book and has gone through the different channels, through whatever way that it's gone into something that's imprinted, anything that is written in someone's hand specifically for you by that person is for sure one of the most special things that me personally as an INTJ female really really appreciate. And I'll go down the good sides of this. So it's because there's that, I guess it's the intimacy one step removed, so you don't have that immediacy to response. And that goes to a couple of things he mentions, things that we take some time to internalize and process and see where that context of the letter and the letter itself, the thought that goes into the letter, plays in. And that for me myself, that is very apt in saying. So second of all, I want to quickly just show you, this is how important I find letters, other than the fact that the only thing that's in a storage unit for me is totes full of just different important letters or things that value to me or mean a lot to me, excuse me. So this is an example. This is just a poem that someone had written for me specifically, and I thought that was so special. I got it when I was quite young, actually, and it's one of 5 pages, and I have them hanging on my wall. This is another one, so you can't really see it. It's still kind of messy, but it was a Post-it note, and no, I'm not channeling Grey's Anatomy. Just with my former partner, him and I were writing down the top 5 qualities that we found in each other, and just randomly, like it wasn't exercise or something like that. It was so special because, again, it's that tactile evidence, I guess, of what an exchange in time, because I'm gonna throw out, a lot of times we're so stuck in our heads that the actual present things and places and things that are going around us might not be picked up on, because we're so processing so many other things, because we're kind of making sense of what we're feeling in any moment at the same time. So what's going to go? The weakest one, which is the sensing. So to be able to look back on these and see that you remember the time, it's a stamp for us, I guess. It's almost like part of our passport for our story journey, life journey. Man, that was tacky, but anyways. Okay, so all that good, sweet stuff being said, we're talking about INTJ females here. So I can't speak for any other female. Maybe another female would be totally just, you had me at hello kind of thing. For us, there is a lot to do with the nuances on if you want to actually do this, because it is not cutesy if that's something, if you're wanting an end result with an INTJ female, either in the short term or the long term, this is something that you better be severely backing up. So I'm just going to go into some of my bullets here. Okay, so I bring up, actually I should just make a quick caveat here. Rock of O-Town mentions that, or asks whether love letters are a useful gesture to show an INTJ how you feel about them. So with regards to that, definitely, especially if you're someone that is not good at regardless of what it is, it's kind of a confrontation. You're putting something very personal and potentially devastating out into see how someone else wants to respond, if it's really something that is super sensitive to you. So that ties in, and I apologize, I'm all over the place, but it's been a long week. So the first thing I'm going to bring up is, say you've decided you want to write a love letter to an INTJ female, and I'm assuming you're already seeing her for a decent amount of time. If you want to go cold turkey on that one and just come out of the blue and just say some sort of heartfelt thing, chances are they're going to potentially just laugh and be like, that's really cute. That's a cute pickup line. Yeah. So the first thing is, with regards to writing, is this act sincere? So it's all about sincerity for us, and I'll go into this a little bit deeper, but internally with you, do you feel sincere in whatever you're going to write down? Because whatever you're writing down is going to be received, and it is going to be analyzed. It is if the INTJ female has allowed you to be in that place, where she is actually receiving this and looking at it and thinking about it, it needs to have that sincerity. Then secondly, and this ties to the sincerity, is, have you guys had a type of baseline? So that doesn't mean length of time you've been together, or the quantity of the relationship. But for myself personally, as an INTJ female, it has to do with where you have presented enough continuity of yourself that there is an ability for the INTJ female to start noticing that as your behavior or your pattern. Because the one thing for sure that INTJ females like that you don't want to even bother with if you are not a sincere person, is to try and pretend. Because yes, we can maybe get into some pretty negative relationships, but that is usually something that is different than what would be applied to a love letter. So that's usually tied to we're wanting to analyze and figure out where we went wrong. And we're not trying to like hunt down the person. It's more like, this can't be right. Like I missed something. There's no way. And so that's an internal thing for us. But the baseline is about, have you shown the similar type of personality trait over and over again in which she can feel confident that everything that she has seen to this time has been consistent, even in its inconsistencies, that it has formed enough of character traits in the two of you and you're meshing together that she has learned to truly enjoy and find interesting those traits. And that has to come through its own time. One of the things, at least for me again, I cannot say enough is just don't say that you know us. Because as soon as you say you know us, we know you don't. And we can argue this for every personality type. This is not just MBTI. But if you are acting pretty cocky before you ever, like, it's even hit the radar that you're into that baseline area in the INTJ female's mind, it comes across as the career limiting move for that relationship. I've had that in platonic work and personal romantic relationships, and I gotta tell you, it is so, it basically belies everything that you've tried to build. Well, it actually just kind of makes sure that we know that A, you're cocky, B, you haven't asked me enough questions to even get to being cocky about me, so therefore the cockiness is an internal, intrinsic thing, potentially in yourself. And does cockiness fit into what I want in terms of openness and learning and excitement and journey? And cockiness for myself, I feel there's a heck of a lot of difference between a very confident person and a cocky person. Cocky person makes assumptions, and usually those assumptions are a massive failure. So if you're approaching with that side, then you'll get your response. And and I'm hoping that everyone that is watching this is using this for a benefit rather than a profiling component. So the and again, I don't know if other females love them just because they got one, but with us, that's pretty big. A lot of other times, I'm just gonna say this for, say, if you're doing a love letter for more of the short-term value of it, the BSers who want to double down on that and, you know, like go even harder on professing love, that's just like, we already know that the romantic comedies that come about with this type of situation are exactly the scripts that they are for a reason. They are something that people want to aspire to, but they're not based in majority reality. So excuse me. So after all that negative Nancy stuff, again, I keep saying we're not for everyone. This, like, who wants to go through this kind of work just for someone that is, wanting to just be so curious about everything. If you've passed all those pieces. So the commenter asked me if I had received love letters, and I definitely have. I did grow up in a different generation, though, where we didn't have phones. So notes in class, or cards and things like that, which I totally believe everyone should bring back, was the thing to do. And I have kept all of those because, again, that feeling of, it is such an intimate thing that it's allowed to be, again, removed. It's not directly intimate and in your face. And so, but you are able to hold that. You have a tangible thing when you're not feeling good, or if you're not feeling confident, or something that is going on, you have this piece of something that is like a proof point that you're able to just just get that ego boost, I guess, because sometimes in those situations you definitely need one. And so I'm going to read this, that this goes for all relationships, I find. I won't keep anything that is from someone that has come to a point where they hurt me in a way that has shown too many times to be the pattern, not the outlier. So I don't keep that. So it actually just makes me sad. So that, okay, so the next thing, it will be something she's going to hold on to forever. And like I said at the beginning, the whole, just looking at every context of it. Is it on foolscap? Is it on, beautiful handwriting paper? Is it in a card? What does a card say? What is your handwriting like? Is it tilted to the left, right, center, big, small? How do you sign your name? What do you say? So it is a massive, beautiful treat if you've gone to that baseline. So the other side he mentions, the commenter, is should you do it in person? And I wanted to quickly point out with that, you can definitely do it in person. If you're doing the big love expression, the first one or something like that, I would tell you to check and see what your confidence is in yourself. How intrinsically confident are you? Because you're going to have to face silence, stammering, a lot of word soup that is basically bureaucratic talk, trying to just put this salve on whatever's happening, or lid on the pot, so they can go and process. There's also, like, this is again myself, if someone does that to me who I care about, then there is a lot. I'm barely hearing the words. I am looking at what's, like, what you are looking like, sitting like, acting like, what kind of facial expressions you have. I'll barely understand what's coming out of your mouth. And it will be something that no matter what, I'm going to have to take away. Or because I guess in my younger years, I may say something that is stopgap. But nowadays it would be more like, oh, that's that, wow, that's amazing, and I have to, like, it's amazing because I feel it's amazing. So, and I just want to marinate on that, and um, I will totally give you a shout tomorrow, and I totally want to talk about this more. But if you're someone that hears the first stutter and then immediately thinks, oh my gosh, she's totally rejecting me, it's over, like, oh, I did such a stupid thing, and then like doubles down on one way or another where it's like, oh, it's no big deal, then in that case the female's like, now I have to analyze not just what you just, the context of what just happened, but is that real? Like, are you, then I have to understand what's happening there. There's just too much. So that will just become too complicated. And it's like, if they're, the INTJ female's not invested enough at that point, it's like, that's a lot. And I can't deal with trying to make sense of that person. And if you get like hurt feelings because of that, that is so, like, it makes you feel horrible as an INTJ, and it just reinforces what the society has told us for so many years, that we're just mean and we don't care and we are rude and we don't, like, why can't you just be like so and so? And it just brings like shame to us, because that's not the intention at all. So yeah, context, confidence is key. And you got to be really strong if you want to do it face to face. And even if you think you know the answer, don't never think that you will get the outcome you want. Not in a mean way, but it might be in such a nuanced way that you, because what you just said opened so many different thoughts in her mind about, you know, the stuff that potential that of the magic, kind of like the sparkly stuff we like looking at if we're deciding to be in a relationship. So just, it's something to be mindful about. So anyways, I hope I did some sort of justice to that one. I kind of went all over the place, but again, who knew that something talking about a love letter would be interesting, although I guess people watch The Notebook, so that's a big deal. As always, love hearing your comments, and I love when you put out either different topic requests or questions, because again, if you have them, sort of everyone, or hopefully, or not hopefully, but I'm assuming a lot of people will as well. Thanks.